I went on a safari in the early 1990s and I was hooked from day one. We, in our metropolitan lives, tend to think that the world stops where the pavements end, where in actual fact there's a much wider world out there. There's a tremendous diversity of animal life and animal cultures. I wanted to capture something of that. I wanted to capture something of the spirit of wildlife. I think from the process of looking at and photographing animals, after a while you do start to recognize certain similarities between them and us. I was photographing snow monkeys in Japan. These Japanese macaques, they're the only other animals besides humans who enjoy taking a hot bath, because they come down to the naturally hot springs in the middle of winter, and it can be incredibly cold, and they bathe in the hot water and they sit completely surrounded by the steam while the snow falls on their head. I noticed one day a snow monkey was examining her own arm and examining her hand, and so I kind of tried to get into that a little bit with her. And I started looking at her hand as well and the way she was examining it, and I recognised the similarities in the folds of the knuckles and all these little details which are so much like yours and mine. For me, the photography is a type of visual music, and it's a way of connecting with people, and I have no problem with that. It's not just a photomechanical scientific way of recording things. It can go beyond that if we let it go beyond that, and can touch people deeply. I'm particularly drawn to photographing elephants because I recognize a lot of traits in their behavior which is very similar to our own. For instance, there was a young baby who was separated from his mother one morning, and he wailed and cried, and just hearing the sound of him crying, I could connect with that, as could my guide. And my guide turned around to me and said, "They're human, I'm telling you, they're human." I think the more conscious we become of the sentient nature of animals, the less likely we are to abuse them. I've learnt a lot while watching and photographing animals. For instance, in the Masai Mara one day, I saw a pride of young lions attack a hippo and rip into his flesh. Now, they weren't hungry, they'd eaten the night before, but I'm convinced they were doing it for fun, and the hippo was crying white tears of fear. The lions eventually left the hippo to die a most horrible, painful death, and that morning I realized that not only do animals weep, but humans do not have the monopoly on gratuitous violence. There was one very difficult picture I took, which was of a great white shark leaping out of the water after headbutting a seal in the South Atlantic near Cape Town. We spent about 16 days going out every day. I'd sit in the boat and my head throbbed and my muscles ached from holding the camera to my eye for hours on end. I felt nauseous. Eventually the shark leapt out of the water. The whole sequence lasted about 5/8 of a second.